How's it going, guys? Coach Cutter here from Icons. We're week 2 of our camp over here in Russia. Things have been kicking off pretty well. The boys are getting ready. We got competitions in about 3-4 weeks. With everything going on with COVID, it's been a tough time, and everyone's starting to kind of get back into the sports world. Competitions kicking off, people playing again, and it's come apparent like how much it's really important to keep your eye on the prize. And it's been a really kind of tough journey for myself. I know there's many people in a similar boat, but I can only speak about what I've gone through and been away from, friends and family and everything for such a long time. It was January where I said goodbye to my family. And it's now, we're now kicking on to the middle of August, end of August. And I haven't seen them, haven't been home, haven't been able to do nothing. But it's been an interesting process. We trained at home, we did the whole lockdown stuff, and now we're back on the field and we're training again. And it's a constant question people kind of raise of like, how do you do it? How do you get through? What do you need to do? I couldn't do that. I couldn't do this. And it's never been a question. There was a time there where for a few weeks I was in a tough spot, really tough spot, nearly quit or felt like quitting. Just because it got hard mentally. But it's interesting, like, when I hear people say, oh, bro, I couldn't do that, I couldn't do this, or, I work away from home and I just couldn't be away for that long. And it's really different. People need to understand, like, my situation, this is a passion, this is a desire, this is a dream, this is 10 years of fighting for something to come true. You don't just let go when it becomes hard. And this is the first time this year that I've thought about kind of letting go and just going, nah, it's not worth it, and I'm lucky enough, I've got a great support network who were kind of like, we've gone through so much, we've been through so much. This is just, this is 6 months or 12 months in a 30-year plan. And when you put it into perspective, like, that's it. Right now is a 6-month, 12-month process in a 10, 20, 30-year plan. Like, it's not that much. We're going to laugh about that time. Remember when we're all in lockdown. So it's interesting that kind of happens, because for me, I see rugby players go through this a lot. I see coaches go through this a lot. I see the daily struggles, especially with footy players, losing sight of what they're aiming for because things get tough, like it's a hard session, or they get smashed, or there's an injury, or something kind of pops up and hits them in the face, and then you just shut down for a little bit. And it took me to open up and talk with a team psychologist that we have and reassess. And it's funny because I always talk about change the goalposts, change what you focus on, change what you're looking on, and everything comes into like play. But I never did it for myself in that period. And it took me to kind of realize, hold on a second, this is tough now, but this is something that was being put so many hours into, so much sacrifice to get. This is just another hard time to be able to push through. And it kind of really brings me back to keeping your eye on the prize. The dream, I've made it very clear with everyone who's involved with my pathway. I want to be on the world stage. I want to coach on the world stage. I want to be on the World Series. That's my driver. That's my focus. I'm doing everything possible to get there. And imagine letting that go because of 6 months of hardness. Like, what lesson are you paving the way for the people that follow you when something gets hard and you just throw in the towel because it's a different struggle that you haven't dealt with before? And that's just, for a while there, I lost my eye on the prize. Like, I didn't think about, why am I here? What am I doing? What kind of foundation am I setting? Who am I fighting for? Who's in my corner? It became about poor old me. The narrative I was telling myself was, poor me, poor me, poor me. And I forgot about everything that had been before. And it's just that eye on the prize. The prize at that point wasn't bigger than the sacrifice for about 2 weeks. And then, with a couple of kicks in the bum from the people who are in my network and seeing, who's around me, who's supporting me, what I'm here for. And it kind of kicked in, like, it's all good. Like, things took off. And now I find myself in an amazing position that I feel as though my coaching has hit a new level because I've come out of that to understand that how big this prize is and how much it needs to work and how much sacrifice needs to go in and what needs to happen to get there and how close you are yet so far away from the next achievement, because it's not just good enough just to get there. It's staying there, sustaining there, being, exceptional there is what I'm aiming for. And I find so many, especially footballers, like that's why we play sport at this level. This isn't a social level. This isn't for fun. It's fun to be here and it's amazing to be here, but you don't come here just looking for fun. You come here to achieve something. You come here to be great. You come here to excel. You're not just ticking over like mandatory boxes. You're sitting there, you're putting in work. You have to sacrifice social life. You have to sacrifice time. You have to sacrifice your own mental and physical being to actually excel. It's a really tough world in professional sport. And it's quite interesting that no one really talks about it too much, about the mental side. Everyone goes, you got to be mentally strong and mentally tough. But what is it? What is that? Like, it's not an open conversation. And especially for men, it's not an open conversation. But it's been really good to have some really strong people here who've been in professional sport in different areas and really focus in on what it really is to kind of push yourself to the next level, and people who are willing to kind of go into that dark space, live in that dark space and come out the other side with more light than ever. And it's all about the prize. If you can visualize the prize, it doesn't matter how dark the room gets, you can shut your eyes and create light. And that's probably the most important thing that's kind of come out of this last 6 to kind of 8 months for myself is no matter how dark it got, close your eyes and you create the light for you to be able to push forward. And that was massive for me. And it all comes down to keeping your eye on your prize. And I've worked with a couple of the boys over here of focusing in on what they need to focus in and not losing track of that prize because of the uncertainty that's currently in our situation. So, it's just a big thing. I just encourage everyone to kind of sit back at times and go, all right, what am I really fighting for? What is this? What did it feel like? What's the emotional connection? How much do I want this? And reconnect with the why you're doing what you're doing. And for me, man, it worked, and I've seen it work for many others. So, guys, just a little one from me today, just on keeping your eye on the prize, and just remember, no matter how dark it gets, you close your eyes and you create your light. And that's it from me, Coach Curto. I'm out. Peace.